Joining us now is John Eastwood, president of the BC Notaries. Hi, John.
Hi.
John, as you know, our profile person, Martin O'Connor, and his wife Nikki, they bought a place and have gone through all kinds of transitions, downsizing. Now, after one purchases a property, that's when a notary comes in to make sure everything's going to go well after that?
Well, most commonly, they've already decided on the property they're buying and have a contract to purchase it. So yes, our job is to make sure legally that they get title to what they're buying, but what they intend to buy. But before that, we want to make sure as well that they know what they're getting into, that legally the property is what they expect it to be, and that they've done all their due diligence. And they, as was discussed earlier when you were talking to the realtor, that they have received all the information about the title to the property and the structure of the strata corporation. So we want to make sure that they're protected in that area.
What does due diligence look like when you're downsizing into a strata situation?
Well, before we get into the legal aspect of it, people have to understand that if they're moving from a single family home into a strata property, that they're going to encounter a new level of government
Well
through the
put.
strata corporation
Right, yeah.
that they haven't encountered before. And that's either a really good experience and they quite enjoy it, or in the rare occasion it's not a good experience and they're just having difficulty dealing with that. We want to make sure they're aware of the rules and the bylaws of the strata corporation, and that there are no prohibitions that they're going to encounter that they're not aware of.
It's one thing to consider all of the on paper issues, but there's a human factor that is also really important for some people. A wrong combination of council personalities can make a new person coming in really uncomfortable. People
quite often can have the opportunity of going to a strata meeting prior to taking possession, after they've made a commitment to buy, however. So they could get some feeling for that. If there's a meeting taking place around the possession date or around the completion date of the transaction, they may very well be able to go and observe at that meeting. I do know a client that did in fact do that.
It's a really good idea. Now, there's many, many other considerations, though. Let's get on with those.
Yes, I'm more interested in the title to the property. Are there charges against title that might adversely impact the purchaser's, the buyer's ownership of the property? I'm interested in knowing about the contingency reserves. Are they adequate? I don't make a judgment on how old the roof is or when it might need to be replaced, but is the strata corporation managed in a business-like fashion? I think the people should know about that. And while most people that are moving from a house into an apartment, I would say the majority of them are paying cash. If there is a mortgage involved, then I'm usually involved in that as well. And there I have a legal duty to know these matters and to be able to advise the mortgage lender as to their security as well. So I need to become involved a bit in the financial structure or knowledge of the structure of the strata corporation.
Can you spell out some other considerations as well that people wouldn't normally think of?
So there are other restrictions that buyers of strata property should be aware of, such as age restrictions or restrictions on rentals or restrictions on pets. Areas that may affect what their lifestyle is and what their expectations are. And a new strata property, the standard bylaws as set out in the Strata Property Act are those that they begin with, but then once the Strata Council is formed, they'll likely amend those bylaws and tailor them to the particular situation in that area.
I would also imagine part of the success of using a notary most effectively is really understanding your own circumstances, your own priorities, and being able to underscore those and specifically investigate those if they're going to be important factors for you in deciding about a property or following through with the sale.
Yes, and many notaries operate storefront practices in a community and as such become part of the community and familiar with properties and buyers in the area as well. So in some cases we're well equipped to advise those people and assist them with their purchase.
Know your lifestyle and know what's going to work for you.
And know the rules.
Okay, John Eastwood, it's all sound advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
North of 49, a guide to the rest of your life.